to fly won't take you to the stars. Use the metal for a boat and you won't sail too far. Stop sitting in the dark, stirring metal parts about. You will change your life forever when you figure out the secret pin code. Pin code. Pin code. Pin code. Pin code. Pin code. Pin, 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 pin. Science can be tricky, it can overheat your brain. Science can be hard to chew, each bite can be a pain. Stop sitting in the dark, stirring metal parts about. You will change your life forever when you figure out the secret pin code. Pin code. Pin code. Pin code. Pin code. Pin code. Pin, 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 pin. The secret pin code. Pin code. Pin code. Pin code. Pin code. Pin code. Pin, 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 pin.
Huh?
That's not possible. It must be some kind of space hallucination.
Oh, lovely.
Well, that's absurd. Can you hear this music too?
Of course. It's Piggy's waltz.
What? Ha! Who's Piggy? Who is this imposter?
Leave me alone, Carlin. I'm sad.
I will not go away. That's my waltz. Mine. I spent years at the doors of the world's conservatories, and they all tell me it's an unbearable cacophony. And now, someone called Piggy is attributing herself as the author? I must meet with this composer.
I dream of doing that too, but it won't happen.
What do you mean it won't happen?
Because she hasn't been born yet. Haven't you ever heard about the cheerful jellyfish? It's the most influential group of explorers in the future. They'll travel the entire galaxy, and it's all thanks to their captain, the amazing Piggy.
Well, that's all well and good, but what's that got to do with my waltz?
It will be her last expedition. Oh, why do they fly to this silly planet? They'll crash there because the weather there, it's so awful, and it's dark all the time.
That's all very sad. But again, what's my waltz got to do with this?
Because after the accident, they found a bottle with sheet music inside. They say it's an alien masterpiece.
Whoa, I see. Ha ha ha. I had indeed hoped that my worthless creation might be useful to some kind of alien with bad taste in music, and now it turns out I was truly ahead of my time. Ha ha ha! Piggy's waltz. Ha! How about that? Ha! And why not? It sounds good. Not now. This is a recording of my waltz from the future. You hear that? What an out-of-this-world performance. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
We must warn the cheerful jellyfish crew. We can save them.
How do you imagine we can do that?
Well, you managed to throw your bottle to them. We need to write them a letter so they can read later on.
Think about it. Let's say some kind of visionary finds out that today I'll eat an apple with a worm in it. So he decides to write a poem in order to warn me. Carlin, the apple's got a germ, inside there's a worm. And then 100 years later, I hear about this poem. And then I'll simply decide that it was a coincidence and still have it for breakfast?
We are not talking about worms and apples here.
I know. And I'm really sorry about the happy jellyfish crew, but there's nothing we can do about it.
We can make a lighthouse for them. Then they definitely won't crash.
And what will it be running on for power for 100 years? Maybe on some kind of, batteries?
Well, why not?
It appears someone doesn't understand the concept of batteries too well. If we look around us, we'll see we're surrounded by many things. The simplest of them are called chemical elements. All of them possess different properties, some strong and some not, light and heavy, shining and transparent. Some are even radioactive. Every one of these chemical elements has one remarkable property, the ability to lose its particles. If we put an element in liquid, which carries electric current, then the charged ions fly away from it. This property is called chemical activity. Active elements easily separate from their ions, and inactive ones are greedy. It's this feature of materials that is used in batteries. Substances with varying activity, for example, zinc and copper, are placed into some kind of liquid. It is better to take a solution of salt, alkali, or acid. This liquid is called electrolytic solution. The active zinc begins to give away its ions. Every ion leaves behind two negatively charged electrons. Greedy copper parts with its ions very reluctantly. Therefore, on the copper electrode, very few electrons remain. They continue doing this until some kind of balance is achieved, and we receive a strongly negatively charged zinc and a weakly negatively charged copper. In the battery, these will play the roles of electrodes. The strongly negative zinc will be the cathode and copper becomes the anode. In order to wake them up and destroy the balance, we need to connect the anode and cathode with an external circuit. Electrons from the cathode rush to the anode and current flows through the circuit. The zinc cathode will start to lose its minuses, and the copper anode will begin to have too many, and zinc will again to start to give up its ions into the electrolytic solution while copper takes them. This continues until the zinc or copper fail and the battery dies. So now you understand that in order for a battery to operate for 100 years, its cathodes and anodes would have to be very big, gigantic in fact.
So there's nothing that we can do.
I'm very sorry, although they did name my wonderful Waltz in honor of your Piggy.
I think that might be a small comfort for her. Huh? What? It's nighttime.
That's on Earth that you have day and night. This whole story with the cheerful jellyfish has kept me up in thinking. I've been studying the photographs of the crash site, and it seems I may have found a solution. So apparently, I'm not just a genius composer. Spheroscope. Here is the planet, a horrible place, incidentally, with gale force winds and sulfuric acid instead of water. Zoom in.
It happens here?
Because of poor visibility, the ship crashes here against this cliff. But if we tear it down, Piggy's team will have a chance at a successful landing. You know, I just realized what I overlooked in my plan.
What is it?
We need to land in the same conditions that the cheerful jellyfish did.
That shouldn't be a problem. Computer! Switch to manual flight mode.
Manual flight mode on.
Here we go! Be a problem. Computer!
Are you sure you can
Computer!
steer this thing?
Of course! I watched all the films about Piggy's adventures! Computer! Switch to flight manual
How
mode.
long
That shouldn't
until
be a
our
problem. Computer!
landing?
Adjust it out there already!
Rosa! Computer, switch to automatic flight control.
Computer is malfunctioning. Automatic flight control mode not available. Not available.
Well, it appears we were more successful than your
Maybe
Piggy.
we were just lucky. Piggy really is just so cool.
I like their wise navigator better, Griffin. It would be better if they named my waltz in his honor.
What a sneaky rock! Gosh darn it.
Well, are we ready to clean the road up for our descendants?
You bet! No.
Analysis shows that these cliffs consist almost entirely of zinc or copper. It's metal. We would need years to break it down.
Hey, wait a minute! Acid reservoirs, zinc, and copper cliffs. Doesn't this remind you of anything? If it appears that copper and zinc acid are in the same acid lake, then it could be used as a giant natural battery, just the size that we would need. Please let it work! Please let it work! Please let it work!
Leave your wishes for somebody else. We're changing history here, not playing cards.
Oh, please. It worked! Piggy will be safe thanks to our lighthouse. I know a musical piece that would fit this motif quite well. Your ingenious waltz.
I don't think that's a very good idea.
Strange. Where did everything go? Spheroscope, please play Piggy's waltz.
It's not very surprising, actually. If there was never any crash, then they never find the bottle with the sheet music in it.
You knew that?
Let's just say, I was aware of the possibility.
But then that means that no one will ever know about your waltz.
However, we will leave the world our mysterious alien construction instead.
Wasn't there any better place we could have stopped?
It's the only terrestrial-type planet for the next 100 light years.
And what do we do here? Oh, it's filthy everywhere.
But it has air suitable for breathing, which means we can walk around without spacesuits and catch a little sun.
Pull harder! Ah! What is with this sticky
Oh, how nice. Nobody has imparted upon me any form except, of course, for that nice asteroid a couple million years ago.
Who's there?
I'm right here. Silly. Oh, don't be so sensitive. I'm enjoying it. Let's get acquainted. Darling, you don't have to be formal, even if I'm older than you by a few million years.
I agree. It's no big deal.
You're funny. Want to play?
Oh, wait. Ready. Ouch. Oh, ow, oh, oh.
All alone, even flowers can't be grown.
All alone, you can sing, you can dance.
This very day of silent trance, it's not comfortable alone. It's a bad addiction and it's time to give it up. If there's two, you know why. That when one begins to cry, that the other wouldn't think to let the first one sing. When there's two, it's all you, that's enough. Stop the bluff, so pull and reach one and each. If there's two, you know why. That when one begins to cry, that the other wouldn't think to let the first one sing. When there's two, it's all you, that's enough. Stop the bluff, so pull and reach one and each. All alone, there is no one to condone. All alone, your dog won't bring the bone.
Don't think that life's a wrong if you live your life alone.
It's a bad addiction and it's time to give it up. If there's two, you know why. That when one begins to cry, that the other wouldn't think to let the first one sing. When there's two, it's all you, that's enough. Stop the bluff, so pull and reach one and each. If there's two, you know why. That when one begins to cry, that the other wouldn't think to let the first one sing. When there's two, it's all you, that's enough. Stop the bluff, so pull and reach one and each.
Fasten your seatbelts. The countdown is beginning. 10.
At least we're
9,
moving.
8,
I almost died of boredom.
7.
It seems I took a little too much vitamin D.
2.
Well, I like
Take
it.
off. Here we go.
What an amazingly vicious substance. We need to take a sample to analyze.
It's a very tricky kind of mud. I wipe and it's as if there's just more and more of it.
Just wait. I feel like we're going to be stuck in this puddle for
Very tricky
ages.
kind of mud. I wipe and it's as if there's just more and more of it.
Why do you need to fly off, silly? After all, we've had so much fun together. An entire eternity awaits us.
Eternity?
Yes. As long as your lifespan doesn't separate us, we'll stay together.
I'm afraid I'm not entirely ready for that sort of a relationship.
Well, that's too bad for you, sweetheart. Since someone here doesn't really have a choice.
But you could at least let the others go.
Of course. Not. After all, your marvelous life form won't be able to last long without this silly life support system.
I don't understand. How is this possible? Nothing can conquer this mud. Not fire, not water, not even a laser cannon.
Yes, it is a strange substance. If we can't act by attacking, then perhaps we need to increase our defense.
And what do you mean by that?
Well, you take, for example, this suntan cream that for some silly reason I didn't use yet. Everybody already knows that excess sunshine is harmful since its rays are ultraviolet, which can cause sunburn on the skin. We can't make anything from ultraviolet emissions. We can't even see it with the naked eye. Therefore, the most simple and effective means is to protect your skin from ultraviolet with the help of this sunblock lotion. The lotion contains nanoparticles of titanium oxide, each one no bigger than 100 nanometers. They very effectively block out ultraviolet emissions and don't allow it to hit the skin.
So you're suggesting that we not fight with mud, but rather cover the sphere jet with something in order to protect it from the mud?
It's all my fault. It's holding us here, and all because I'm such a nice guy.
My self-criticizing friend. About whom are you talking?
Me. Oh, you won't believe me anyway.
I don't want to spend the remaining better years of my life in this mud.
Rosa, can I ask you
Go
for some
ahead.
advice?
Go ahead.
This friend of mine doesn't want to go out with this girl, but she really insists. How do you explain to her that they have nothing in common?
Wait a second. Who's this friend of yours you're talking about? Are you talking about Wally?
No, you don't understand at all.
Insisting, you say? Well, I'll show him a future together.
I say let your friend tell his girlfriend exactly that. Stop chasing after me. You don't really butter my bread. You're not exactly my type.
You need to be stricter with them.
Yeah.
Maybe checkers.
Listen, we need to have a serious talk.
You're so cute when you frown like that.
I'm not cute. And by the way, my rose in general is not for you.
What?
Figuratively speaking, of course.
Maybe a word game.
Well, don't mind if I do.
Barry's advice hasn't really helped my friend.
I'm afraid there's no universally correct method for these things.
For what?
So, what should he do?
Rosa, stop it!
Let him try to be more patient of others' feelings. In this universe, there's so little love.
What was that for?
You've come back too soon, sweetheart. I'm still angry at you, Chiko.
Forgive me, please.
For what?
For being so mean and silly.
Of course, I forgive you, sweetheart. Could anyone truly be angry so long at such a cutie?
I need to tell you something else.
You are scaring me.
It worked! It worked! Compression!
My friend, how did you manage it?
Oh, I carefully researched the nanoparticles that Doko was talking about. You know, they have a very interesting property. If you carefully investigated nanoparticles which Doko told me about, they have had a very interesting property. If you look closely at titanium dioxide particles, then you'll notice that the atoms on their surface are very poorly connected with the others. These atoms are active and easily undergo chemical reactions. If enough ultraviolet light falls on them, they split the closest molecules of water into pieces. These charged particles scatter in different directions and split other molecules. If there are any organic compounds nearby, then bang bang and kaput. It means that if we cover any surface with titanium dioxide nanoparticles, then no dirt will be able to stick to this surface, providing there's ultraviolet emissions nearby.
And maybe we could have planted something in it. It would have grown. You water it, and so on. That'd be interesting if I say so myself. Why didn't I think of that earlier?
So what did your friend, tell his girl in the end?
If there's two, you know why. That when one begins to cry.
What's wrong?
It's all wrong.
Hey, Michelangelo! Are you ever actually gonna draw anything?
Painting. Not drawing, painting. You draw a caricature or a comic strip, stuff like that. But painting comes from your soul. It's art.
Well, that's not a problem. You always said you're very artistic. And as for the soul, well, everyone's got one of them, right? So just pull something up out of it.
You don't get it. You can't just pluck art out of yourself, like a berry. I have to interpret Saturn in a whole new way.
But it's just a planet, a gas giant, rounded by a whole bunch of cosmic garbage that is formed into rings. How can there be any other way to interpret it but that one?
Well, I can't say yet. That's why I haven't been able to start my painting. But I'm very certain that inspiration will come within a few weeks.
Are you serious, Carlin? It's just a ball in space with rings around it. How could that take weeks to draw?
To paint.
I could sculpt it out of cheese blindfolded by then. I'm not much of an artist, but anybody can paint a planet.
All right, Mr. Smarty Horns, prove it.
Glad to. And my Saturn art, I would bet, will turn out better than yours does.
I'll take your bet.
The winner will be whichever of us creates the best artistic image of Saturn by midnight.
Agreed. And whichever of us loses will have to stand in front of the entire crew and crow like a rooster.
It's a bet.
So, this gives me very little time to get this done. But I still feel no inspiration. But I'm a pro. Can't sit on my tail feathers and wait for my muse to come. I must find a way to grab her by the wings. I need to create the perfect atmosphere for inspiration. Now that's what I call a professional artist's approach. Another couple of incense candles, and my muse will come swimming right up. I wonder how things are going for poor Daco. He's probably crying in some corner, ready to just give up.
I'll let Carlin be the artist, flitting everywhere, talking about muses and inspiration. I've got science on my side. An artist sees light reflected from an object. The image leaves an imprint in his brain. After that, he transmits this image to paper. Normally, it takes talent to do this, but if you understand the science and the principles behind the laws of optics, then you don't need talent. This deceptively simple device was discovered centuries ago. All that's needed is a closed box. A tiny hole is made on one wall of the box to let in a thin beam of light. Once the box is lined up with the chosen scene, light reflects off the scene and passes through the tiny hole, and an image of the scene appears on the opposite wall of the box. The image appears upside down and backwards because of the way light behaves. Because the box only works if it's dark inside, it was called a dark camera or camera obscura. All right then, let's make a big camera obscura out of my entire cabin. Moose Eureka time! Now all I have to do is outline this projection, and Carlin will be crowing like a rooster in front of everyone in no time at all! There. Beautiful. I'm so smart. What's so hard about this? I'm using an early Picasso abstract style for extra artiness. There. What? Oh yeah, it's upside down. Right. There, that's way better, yeah? Well, look closer. Don't forget that it's done in the abstract style of Picasso. Yeah, it's awful. I guess it's possible. I'm not as good at this art stuff as I thought. I need to come up with another method.
Oh, that's great. A little lower. Intense, perfect inspiration is coming soon. I can feel it. Ah, yeah. Muse time. What? Huh? Did I win? Oh, my. Well, relaxation has not led to inspiration, has it? Time to take the bull by the horns. Let's see. I think this calls for space meditation.
I have found a new method. Now my lack of talent for painting won't matter. This way, I won't have to draw anything at all. I probably should have thought about this in the first place. Absolutely not, my judgmental friend. It isn't cheating at all. Why, this is pretty much just a better version of a camera obscura. Let me explain. Reflected light from a scene goes through a larger opening and is focused by a lens. Because more light is allowed into the box, a brighter image is produced. If light-sensitive film is placed in line with the reflected image is then captured on the film. Color film uses color-sensitive image layers to capture the color of the reflected image. All you have to do is press the button. That's it. Oh, I guess I don't quite have the hang of this yet. This is bad, and I don't have time to get good at it. Guess I better think of something else.
There are times when inspiration strikes because you're looking at your subject from an unexpected angle. Yeah, I know there isn't very much time left, but when genuine inspiration strikes, a talented artist can create a perfect masterpiece in only a few moments.
Exactly what I'm planning to do, but without all the pretentious, silly, artsy stuff.
No!
Scientifically, an image isn't anything but light reflected from an object, which in turn is perceived by our eyes. And finally, I've found the best way to document it. A digital camera. Yay! Metal is sensitive to the photoelectric effect. That light, at a high enough frequency, can cause a metal surface to emit electrons. When used in solar batteries, light falls on a semiconductor, like silicon wafers, and knocks electrons loose from the atoms. The electrons are then captured in a circuit to produce electrical power. Instead of film, digital cameras use a charge-coupled device, or CCD. This is a matrix of millions of attached microscopic charge bubbles called pixels. Light, focused by a lens, falls on the pixels of the CCD matrix and causes them to emit electrons. From this, the pixel receives an electrical charge that is stored in the pixel's capacitor. Then, the charges are moved along the matrix rows and dumped at the end of each row to be measured. These measurements are ultimately converted into an image. And that is how we can capture an image using neither talent nor long chemical processes. Just press the button and you're good to go. Oh, the battery's dead. Darn it squared. Well, that's midnight. Guess I lost.
That is the weak point of your method, dear old friend. Technological methods depend on other technological methods. That is why I prefer classical media.
All right. All right, let's have a look at your masterpiece.
How about we just call it a draw?
Whoa! It looks like both of us were beaten.
Just one thing to do.
The inventors of the CCD matrix are American physicists Willard S. Boyle and George E. Smith. The results of their invention are now used in every digital camera and have truly changed the world. In 2009, Boyle and Smith received the Nobel Prize in Physics for their incredible invention.
Taco! Tell the truth, Taco. Have you ever had to feel real fear? You know, genuine fear.
Yes, literally, just now.
We understand each other. Where does this fear originate from?
Well, if you legitimately want to know. Fear is a part of lives from which there is no escape. Fear is felt by all intelligent beings, from animals to insects, and according to some studies, plants. Fear is a feeling that unites everyone on the planet.
What do we need it for?
Well, fear is a true gift from evolution. It's specifically due to fear that our ancestors were able to escape many prehistoric dangers. Insofar as no one back then could brag about an overabundance of intelligence, the ones who survived were the ones who were more careful. Or we could say more cowardly and afraid. Since then, much has changed. Man became more clever, built a more comfortable and relatively safer world, and fear is no longer necessary for survival, even if unfortunately we haven't gotten rid of it. Not to mention that, with our intelligence growing, we have new fears not directly related to any threat to our health. We're afraid to make important decisions or be rejected. We fear criticism and failure and public speaking and a lot of other harmless things. But since our reactions to fear remain the same, our bodies propose dealing with fear in the oldest way: running away. It's not clear that fear serves any useful purpose and might only make life more difficult.
Thank you for the lecture, but the question was rhetorical.
What's bothering you so much?
Rosa, it's time we grab the bull by the horns. No, maybe the ram. We can't keep going like this. You're attractive. I'm incredibly handsome. No, that's unnecessary. I'm gonna try and improvise this. Rosa.
My wonderful. Wow.
And that's when it begins. At first, a total stupor. I can't say anything at all. Then my knees start shaking, and my heart's beating like crazy, and I get goosebumps all over. And it's the same way every time.
Wally, in 5 minutes, you'll be an absolutely different person, without fear and beyond reproach.
With no fear and beyond reproach?
You definitely will thank me. I'm going to change your manifestation of fear.
I'll stop being afraid?
No, science can't do that, but you'll be afraid in a different way.
What's the point?
All right, first a little theory, though. Packaged together with the feeling of fear are 3 possible reactions to fright. This is flight, aggression, and worst of all, stupor. On top of this, the body launches a corresponding process, like, for example, an increase in heart rate to facilitate better circulation to the muscles. The body also starts producing adrenaline, a hormone which gives us strength and flexibility. Unfortunately, it also makes us shake and go pale, as well as feel like we have an empty stomach when we're scared. This is because adrenaline redirects blood from the skin and stomach to the muscles and brain, which are more important in a moment of danger than having, for example, a healthy blush. To stay alive, we're ready to sacrifice our hairstyle. Our hairs stand on end in order to make us visually appear more threatening in the eyes of an opponent. Additionally, our blood's clotting ability also increases so that we can better endure any wounds. And the acidity of our stomach acid increases to more quickly digest food and increase our blood sugar and energy levels. And hearing and seeing become much sharper. All of these superpowers work quite well when you need to fight or run, but alas, are not as good when you're trying to ask a woman out on a date. My friend, in the future, they learn to change these manifestations of fear to more convenient ones. For example, instead of wanting to run, you dance instead.
That sounds a little weird.
Well, with your hardy constitution, you'll get used to it very quickly.
What kind of constitution?
All right, let's get started.
Did it work?
Let's check and see.
What different types of new feelings?
It really worked.
Rosa, we need to talk.
What's the matter with you?
Don't pay any attention to that. I've long wanted to ask you to dance. That is to say, what the heck's going on? It's worse now than it was before.
Yes, maybe we got too excited with the dances.
Maybe we can do it so that when I'm afraid, I don't know, maybe I have a better mood.
It worked.
Rosa! Oh! Pagliaccio, suo amore, el pranto. Make everything like it used to be. At least my old habits of fear I was used to. But now I even miss them.
It's too bad that you've given up so quickly. Huh? Did you even hear what I just said to you?
Well, yes. But because of the accident, I can no longer feel any fear. All the better.
Yeah, probably.
What are you doing with the electrical stuff? Everything's short-circuited. I said, who will fix the iron?
You know, I'm no longer afraid to admit anything to you. But that's not even necessary now. I don't feel anything to you.
What in the heck was all that?
My fearless friend, your technique is of course surprising.
Maybe.
I beg you, rethink this. You no longer have any instinct for survival. This is very dangerous.
It's dangerous for those who fear danger. But for me... that's all past.
You waking up, Mr. Extreme Sports? I see you have no fear of anything anymore.
Rosa, you're such a... It's back!
Who's back?
My fear! It's back! Now I need to check. I need to tell something to you. There they are! My goosebumps! And my knees are shaking! And my heart. Can you feel my heart?
Wally, I think you should probably lie down.
I have to tell you, you are the most... No, I can't. No, I'm scared.
Wally, get into bed immediately.
I'm afraid. What a wonderful feeling. I'm petrified. I'm just petrified.
He's mad, but he's so handsome.
Wow, this is phenomenal. Really, truly inspiring. Whoa!
Knockout! Great catch there. What a knockout!
Or maybe we'll play 6 hands. Huh?
Or we could wave some rackets around. Have a knock around.
Oh, believe me, my friends, in the future, we'll have much more entertaining ways to spend our free time. Take, for example, terraforming. An amazing hobby that is suitable for any age.
Woohoo! Holy carrots!
Sounds just fantastic.
Interesting!
Huh? And what's that, huh?
Who knows? But sounds awesome.
Ah, well, the term terraforming comes from 2 Latin words, terra meaning earth and forma meaning shape. And it means, unsurprisingly, the transformation of any cosmic bodies into Earth-like ones. That is, into cosmic bodies upon which our flora and fauna can be without any threat to life. This can be achieved by changing the temperature, atmosphere, and other environmental factors to a state suitable to us.
That's even better than I thought.
Pretty radical.
Craftsmanship. Huh?
Well, let's get on with terraforming something then, uh-huh?
Sure. Maybe the moon?
Seems unambitious.
The sun!
Too tricky.
But maybe...
Mars. I suggest we start with Mars.
Excellent choice.
Mars is the 4th planet from the Sun. The average annual temperature is minus 50 degrees Celsius. It's not possible to breathe, and spacesuit must be worn.
Well, for now, yes. But after a bit of terraforming, we'll sort that out.
We're gonna need to put together some activities.
maybe some rock climbing? Or maybe some ice skating?
And a spot for sunbathing? A spa place? With beauty procedures.
Wait, hold up with the decor. Let's first figure out how to make the planet habitable. Colleagues, your suggestions?
The main thing that makes Mars uninhabitable is its rarefied atmosphere. We literally have nothing to breathe. And it's pretty cold too. Mars has an average annual temperature of minus 50 degrees Celsius, which I'm sure you'll agree is a bit on the nippy side. We can solve two of these problems at once by placing giant mirrors next to Mars to focus the sunlight on its poles. This way, you can melt the polar caps of Mars and release carbon dioxide into its atmosphere. But it won't be enough. We still have to build factories on Mars to produce greenhouse gases. That which harms our native Earth would be of benefit on Mars. Greenhouse gases heat the planet's atmosphere to the desired temperature. Then we would have to somehow bombard Mars with ice asteroids, with collisions that would not only increase its temperature, but also the volume of water on the planet. After that, everything becomes a lot easier, increasing the force of gravity by 3 times, saturating the atmosphere with oxygen, and creating a magnetic field that will protect the planet from cosmic radiation.
Come on! Can we take off our spacesuits already? Everything's okay! I was just kidding!
Silly joke!
Not good.
Nice fresh air.
Yeah, and temperature.
Just the view is a bit uninspiring.
Yeah, we really need some mountains to climb.
And some lakes to go fishing.
Plenty to do right now. To spruce it up a little bit?
And a bit of a breeze wouldn't hurt for paragliding.
That's enough! This isn't a planet, but some kind of extreme sports wonderland.
But it's so cool, though.
Right, we get the message. Nobody's interested in anything we say. Our opinion counts for no.
We're gonna terraform our own planet with flowers and beauty salons. We're gonna need a bit of help.
So, shall we get started?
Venus is the second planet from the Sun. In terms of size, it is almost the same as the Earth.
Oh, almost the same as the Earth. That's much better than some tiny little Mars.
No, I should say, the size of the planet doesn't really matter.
Ha! Tell that to your Martian friends. Why don't you tell us how to breathe life into it?
On Venus, the situation is almost the opposite of the one on Mars. There is a rich atmosphere, and as a result, it's very hot, 450 degrees Celsius, and there is a lot of carbon dioxide. In addition, this atmosphere is very dense. The pressure on the surface of the planet is the same as in the depths of the ocean. Also on Venus, there are very long days, as long as about 240 Earth days, and it rains sulfuric acid.
What can you do? Everyone has their downsides and their upsides.
No one can argue with that. In order to deal with these, peculiarities, we can apply one of a number of methods. For example, we could use those same mirrors and not only to focus the sun's rays onto the planet, but the opposite, to reflect away any extra. And if you froze Venus's atmosphere, the carbonic acid would turn into dry ice, which would cover the entire planet in a layer 600 meters deep, and the excess would simply have to be removed. Also, we could apply asteroids. If we accurately calculated the blow, the rotation of a planet would change enough so that we have days that equal to those on Earth. By the way, hypothetically, a magnetic field can appear from this rotation. And to make the air suitable for breathing, we could throw a cyanobacteria at the planet, which would convert the remaining carbon dioxide into oxygen. And the lack of water could easily be corrected with ice comets to form some small small seas with a depths of tens of meters, a few hundred comets would suffice.
Excellent. Right now, we'll solve the rest.
I can safely say that terraformation has been more than successful.
Turn it up loud! We're going to be on TV now!
We are delighted to announce 2 new tourist destinations, Mars and Venus. The opinions of potential tourists were found to be divided equally, some in favor of the extreme outdoors Mars, while others preferred the relaxing resorts of Venus.
What does he mean equal? Venus is obviously better.
A lot more boring than our Mars.
My dear friends, how could there be any disputes when...
Oh, really? We're gonna make Venus even cooler, huh? And then all the visitors will be ours.
And we'll make Mars even more extreme, several times.
My friends...
Incoming message from Venus.
Doctor, how do we make the northern lights brighter?
We could reduce the magnetic field, but that would affect the atmosphere.
Got it! That's what we'll do then!
Incoming message from Mars.
How do we make the wind a bit stronger?
You could adjust the atmospheric pressure, but make sure you don't overdo
What did I
it.
tell you, see? Pressure.
And can you tell us how to make the grass grow faster?
And bigger.
As a rule, plant growth is much more intensive in tropical countries.
That's it. We'll take away the reflectors from the sun.
Wait a minute.
We wanted our mountains even higher, but they're falling apart for some reason. What's with that?
Well, nobody changed the laws of gravity.
Do you hear that? Lower the gravity!
No!
Mars, in its current state, has a terrible temperature. With no atmosphere, the planet's not suitable for life. And the state of Venus isn't any better.
Yeah, looks like I think we overdid it a little.
What do we do now? All the same, it's good that wise old nature didn't focus on all kinds of subjective wishes when it created a climate for our beautiful planet.
Hard to argue with that.
Oh, and there go the first group of visitors.
Maybe we should have warned them.
Huh?
So, I'm going to have you in a minute. Oh, I haven't.
Hey, everybody! You can congratulate me! I've come up with a new word!
Huh?
Mungabubalupta!
Well done, Wally.
Well,
Phenomenal. I would never even have thought of that.
And I couldn't even pronounce it.
Oh, what strength.
Well, yeah.
Such a powerful sound.
Yep.
And what exactly does Mungabubalupta mean?
Nothing. It's just a word. That's all.
Sorry to step on your doozy, huh? But the science of semiotics won't give me a pass. Semiotics is the study of signs. Signs can be very different, but with each of them, there are 3 elements. Signifying, the actual sign. Signified, example, the object. And the process itself, which connects the signified and signifying cognition. Therefore, as a rule, there must be an outside observer or witness. This is very important. Without someone perceiving a sign, a person, a group of people, a nation, a community, it cannot be a sign. For example, if a driver sees a stop, then he realizes that he needs to stop. And if the same plate is in the middle of the tundra and no one ever sees it, then it's not a sign. Any word is also a sign that a certain group chooses to mean something. But if he does not have an object to which it is attached, then this is no longer a word, but simply a collection of sounds.
So my Mungabubalupta is just an empty sound?
Well, I'm afraid so. Like, for example, brr or pute.
Mungabubalupta is not some kind of poo, and especially not brr. It's very much a word, which means... It means... Find an object. Get a word. It means... I'll tell you later what it means. Later! I'll tell you what it means. Later! You find an object. Get a word. The rest would follow, surely.
So? Did you find it?
Yeah, almost.
Do you want me to help?
Yes, please. It's pointless. There are already so many words in the world.
Do you want me to be your Balupta?
Rosa, you don't look like a Mungabubalupta.
A pretty one.
My friends, this is amazing. We are all on the verge of the greatest of discoveries. This is just incredible, phenomenal, squared, cubed even. Ooh.
Here comes another little lecture.
And no mistake.
Consider that our solar system has been studied and no longer contains any high-profile discoveries. In the center is the sun, around which there are 8 planets rotating and many other objects remaining after the formation of this system. Some of these remains are in the form of pieces of ice from the methane, ammonia, and water forms from the Kuiper Belt. But recent studies of objects in the Kuiper Belt revealed an interesting pattern. Some of them showed the same strangeness in motion. Explaining this strangeness, if you add to the calculations, there's a new planet, about which previous astronomers simply did not suspect. Such a planet would be 10 times heavier than the Earth and would move along a strongly elongated elliptical orbit, making a complete revolution around the sun roughly every 50,000 years. Of course, this is still a theory, but the probability of error is estimated at only 0.007%. To confirm this theory, you need to find a new planet in the telescope. Given its huge orbit, this will take at least 5 Earth years. But the search is very much worth it. If successful, the reward would be a 9th planet in our solar system. Can you imagine a new planet? That's just mind-blowing.
Great news, colleagues. And what should we call it when we find it?
I hadn't thought about it, but I guess maybe we could...
Wait! I think we all know what we're going to call the planet.
Well, let's get on and find it.
Hmm?
Yeah!
Oh, yeah!
Search in calculated sectors concluded. New planet not found. Repeat. New planet not found.
Well, these things happen.
Yeah, but 8 planets is not bad either.
Who'd believe it? Such a small margin of error and it worked!
I doubt anything could pick me up.
Wait! No promises. Oh!
Rosa, can I look at Rosa? Rosa? Huh? But you know, that's what it is.
Are you serious?
Never been so serious. This is a typical Mungabubalupta.
Mungabubalupta?
As soon as I saw it, I recognized it. That's it. We found the Mungabubalupta. Mungabubalupta.
My dear friends, this is truly incredible! I just slightly amended my calculations, and look.
She's beautiful.
isn't she? 10 times the weight of the Earth. Everyone, Mungabubalupta. Mungabubalupta.
And now, your word really is a word. And the whole world will know it.
Oh? Sorry, guys. But I already found a meaning for my word. Rosa, could you demonstrate our Mungabubalupta?
Look! 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 And we don't need another.
Oh! Here it is!
And what do you think? Nibiru.
That's good too, I guess.